The immense legacy of Lula Washington, the visionary founder, choreographer, and tireless activist, marking 45 trailblazing years of the Lula Washington Dance Theatre. From humble beginnings in the Nickerson Gardens projects, Lula, one of 8 children, danced to the music from a battered radio. As a young girl, there were no dance classes for kids like her. But when she was exposed to the Alvin Ailey Dance Company, she knew her destiny. But Lula would be told she was too old. Undaunted, Lula literally transformed adversity into artistry and hardship into hope. Against all odds, she built her own dance theater in the heart of Crenshaw Boulevard, where she and her husband Irwin and eventually daughter Tamika would build a haven for the African-American experience. Justice! Creating unforgettable works that give voice to critical issues like homelessness, police brutality, and injustice. Hers is a legacy that dances beyond boundaries. She is the spirit of Los Angeles, the incomparable Lula Washington. She is today's LA story. Hello, everyone, and welcome to a really exciting edition of LA Stories. I'm Giselle Fernandez, and we are here along the Crenshaw corridor at the iconic Lula Washington Dance Theatre, and I'm here with the legend herself, whose story is not just about dance, but about the dance of life. It's such an honor to meet you.
I revere you too.
It's a mutual admiration society. 45 years you're celebrating, 45,000 young people you've empowered with dance and discipline and focus and artistry and social justice. What does it mean to you to arrive at this milestone?
What it means is that I'm here and I'm still standing. I didn't get here by myself. My husband is the co-founder of Lula Washington Dance Theatre. I was told by Mr. Alvin Ailey himself that starting a dance company in Los Angeles is one of the most difficult things in the world to do. And you will always be looking for funding and support to support the arts. So I'm here because of self-determination.
Your husband, actually, Irwin, says of you, you're an instant rebel rouser. And I imagine it took that kind of ferocity and will of spirit to accomplish all that you've done.
I felt the urgency that I had to do it. I felt like if my voice is not heard, then I'm not being a main contributor to the community, to society, and telling the truth as I see it in my art.
Yeah, and you did not just build a dance company, you literally built a sanctuary for the African-American experience. You felt that there needed to be stories told through movement that weren't accessible to your community.
Wow, you said that so beautifully. Sanctuary, because all along the journey, my studio has been like a sanctuary, a place where children felt safe. We provided a place for them to learn how to dance, but in learning how to dance, you learn how to be an individual. You learn how to participate in society. You train students to be kind to each other. But on the larger scale, there were no voices that was talking about gang violence in my community through dance. There were no stories. I wanted to tell stories about Africa through my dance, stories about the United States, about slavery, about what women had to go through in terms of survival, in terms of being raped, in terms of a whole lot of issues that came out. And I could do that through dance.
And you found that those stories weren't being told at all through movement, and much because so many kids didn't have access to dance. You didn't. You were one of the oldest of 8 children, I understand. You grew up in the Nickerson Gardens projects here in Watts. And you used to dance to a battered old radio?
We would put the radio on and we would just dance around the house.
And that planted seeds in you, certainly, but you were going to go to nursing school, and a professor apparently took you to see the Alvin Ailey Dance Theatre. What did that do to your soul?
It uplifted me, seeing the work of Alvin Ailey. Made me go, wow, I could do this. There was a dance audition, and I said to myself, oh, I'm going to go to this audition. I immediately went to the back because I didn't want to be in the front because I knew I didn't know what I was doing. We're going to do 3 demi-pliés and 2 grand pliés. was like, oh my God, what is this? So I just followed along behind. So finally she came in and tapped me on the shoulder and she said, you don't know what you're doing. I said, no. But she said, I like your energy. I like your passion. I like your commitment to try. And if you agree to take all the classes I'm telling you to take, I will allow you to be in the dance production. I said, yes, 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 yes.
That was your first big break.
That was my first big break.
And then you applied to the UCLA dance program, and you were rejected.
Yes.
They told you were too old.
Well, I've been told no about a lot of things, so I always tell people, no can't hurt you, only you can hurt yourself. So I appealed it. So there was a dean, and he was a person that could say yay or nay. And he said he wanted to meet the person. He said, well, what would it mean if you were given an opportunity to come to UCLA? I said, well, it would mean the world to me. I really wanted to study dance, and I think this is the best place for me. And he said, well, I'm going to give you that opportunity.
What did that mean to you?
It means that I can try to reach my goal. And my goal was to get good training, to get a degree, and then do my company, do my choreography, do my work.
That dream was so deeply embedded in you, but it wasn't easy. Talk to me about what you faced once you did get accepted.
The journey was very difficult because our choreography was different. The music that we wanted to use was different. It's like when somebody's trying to almost break your will and make you, they wanted us to do work to classical music. There's nothing wrong with classical music.
But you wanted to express your own artistry.
All of the programs that we would audition our work for would never get picked because we weren't in the flow of what they wanted to put on the stage. So we started a UCLA Black Dance Company at UCLA, and we started producing our own shows.
And that's where the Lula Washington Dance Company was born. You did this with your husband, and it wasn't easy, but you had this incredible resilience.
If you don't see yourself, and the world doesn't see you there, you're not there. Out of sight, out of mind. That's what my grandmother used to say.
Is she the one that implanted that sense of social justice in you?
I don't know. I felt the urgency that I had to do it. And if I didn't do it when I did it, when would I do it?
That's right.
Do your own thing, as the song says, do your own thing. And I did.
You fused African Afro-Haitian dance with gospel, church classical ballet, modern, theatrical, hip hop. You brought it all together to the forefront, among the very first to do that.
I was always trying to tell the story. And I would say, as Malcolm X would say, by any means necessary, find the right movement, find your voice, put it out, make it happen, and do it. Do the work, do the work. And that's what I've been doing ever since.
And you choreographed and created dances around stories of issues really important to you. Talk to me about Check This Out that reflected the community struggles after the Rodney King beating.
One question on everyone's mind is how did this jury see the same videotape that the world saw and reach the conclusion that no crime was being committed?
Wow, Check This Out was just a very emotional piece. Everyone was so in pain. So I was trying to figure out what we could do. So I started walking around in the studio and just taking a deep breath and holding my hand up as I was walking around, because sometimes when you just don't feel, when you reach your hand up, you're reaching for a higher power, and you're reaching for something to come into you to help calm you down. And then another dancer came and they put the fist up and was walking around, they head down this. I just started saying, engine number 9, going down the LA line. Those white cops got out of line. Check it out, check it out, check it out. And then they picked up on it. And then it made a cannon. It got larger and larger.
We were tired of being ignored. We were tired of seeing the truth smeared and distorted. And we were tired of double standards for justice.
And then it helped to make them feel better. And that's the power of movement, to help you heal. And then I started saying, America, America. And then somebody else started singing, my country's tears of thee. And it just turned into this organic piece of work.
My country, tears of thee?
Mm-hmm. Sweet land of liberty. And they just picked it up. And the guys were saying, check it out, and it just got bigger and bigger.
And became one of your heart-centered signature
It
pieces.
did.
But there would be many more to come. And you've done so many magnificent things. I mean, obviously in the more commercial space with Disney, Little Mermaid. You worked with James Cameron with Avatar to create the ritual dance of the Na'vi people.
Yes, we had fun. I was very excited. I said, but they need to have some cultural ways of greeting each other. I said, Mr. Cameron, you know, he's very tall. I said, let's come in the middle of your office and we're gonna squat down. And we squatted down. And I said, you're gonna take 2 fingers and you're gonna put them on your third eye. And then you're gonna go like this. That means, I see you. He must have been impressed because he hired me to do it.
Your T-shirt kind of says it all, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
You think of yourself as a visionary?
I do now. When I was doing it, I didn't. But I realized everybody that wants to make something happen, you have to have a vision of it. You don't know how you're gonna get there. I didn't know, but I knew in my heart that no couldn't hurt me. And the only person that could hurt me and pull me back would be myself. Mm-hmm. And I was not gonna do that. I would just keep going.
Well, you are as known for your resilience as your artistry, and we are going to dive into some of the obstacles that you have transcended, overcome, and absolutely quashed to triumphantly empower 45,000 children and still counting in nearly half a century when LA Stories comes right back. Welcome back to LA Stories, everyone. We're here with the matriarch of LA Dance, Lula Washington. When you built your entertainment dance company on Crenshaw Boulevard, this community cultural center for dance, you said it was one of your proudest moments, thriving, building, but then came the Northridge earthquake and devastated the building. How tough for you?
Well, the Northridge earthquake devastated our building on Adams. And I was like, oh my God. All the bricks in the back had fallen out.
There was just one obstacle after the other. You then needed a permit to rebuild.
Space.
But the city would not grant you the permit for years. And you got into this David and Goliath legal battle that lasted 3 years. Why was the permit being withheld?
They wanted our land. They wanted to build something else there.
You fought that in a legal battle that was epic. What was at the heart of it?
The heart of it was they did not want an arts group in the facility. So then we got on the look, urgency. We got to find some place.
And that's this place.
That's this place.
Meant to be.
Exactly, because I wanted a place in my community where we could have a cultural arts facility, where we could study the classical ballet, where we can have jazz, we can have all of our arts here. And we could become a place where people could come and see art as well, see dance performances, see plays.
Yeah, always driven to give back to your community. You've just celebrated your 45th anniversary of dynamic contributions and empowerment of African American experience culturally through dance, which has been magnificent. And at your gala, you just did a tribute to saxophonist Pharoah Sanders.
Yes, I chose that music because I said this music is a healing piece of music. This music is what this whole continent needs right now. All over the world needs this right now. All this hatred, Black people of all people know the story. And now to try to erase everything, it's just mean. And I wanted to have a different message, that we have existed. We have to respect each other. So I bought all these big, huge pieces of fabric. So I said, these colors symbolize our chakras. And so we're sending the getting and alignment, because it's about centering yourself and finding balance in yourself so you can share that centering and balance with everyone that you come in contact with. And I told them, each one of you performers are messengers. And the message is peace, love, and happiness for everyone. It doesn't matter if you came from Guatemala. It doesn't matter if you came from Australia. It doesn't matter if you came from New York. It doesn't matter if you came from Mars. It don't matter. It just matters that we're all here on this one planet, and we need to make it work. We've been making it work, and now it's out of balance. And This piece is about trying to center it back. We started with just a slow rock, and it gets really wild in there too. It's when we come back and center ourselves.
Very nurturing.
Or something is very nurturing. Throughout the piece, there were different colors that dancers put on, and they were moving around and symbolizing love and having their own inner praise. Healing, peace, love, and happiness for everyone, because that's what I believe is going to save us all, contributing to a very positiveness that's very much needed in society and in the world today.
You've infused so much hope and artistic prowess in so many young people. When I see you, I imagine in your 20s, at UCLA in that classic dance pose of a younger Lula Washington, what do you say to her right now?
I'm saying, you did it, girl.
And as much as your artistry and your social justice has made so many impacts, so has your resilience. When LA Stories comes right back. Welcome back to LA Stories, everyone. We're here with the grande dame of dance in Los Angeles and beyond, the amazing Lula Washington. This has been a family affair. I mean, you were married very young to Erwin, who helped you build your theater, but also to Mika, your daughter, who runs your youth programs and one of the principal dancers here. What does it mean to you to have built this as a family?
Well, if you know, working with family is hard.
No sugarcoating.
We are three opinionated people. We're all water signs, and everybody's boiling at some point. It's been a challenge, and it's also been a beautiful experience that Tamika has taken on the challenge of continuing the work, of continuing the organization. She is a phenomenal person in her own right. She's much tougher than me on a lot of things, but she wanted to do it. She said, I'm a part of legacy, Mommy. I'm a part of legacy. You guys have built this here, and I want to be part of helping it to continue.
And when you saw her work, And We Can Fly, talk to me about the poignance of that piece, and did you see yourself in her choreography and vision?
I saw myself in the sense that she's telling stories. To see her getting deep into that and bringing that richness back out, things that have been forgotten in our history that people don't think about anymore, unless you go really deep into history and culture, that you know where the ring shout is coming from. Everybody has a shout within them, and that's part of what she was encouraging the dancers when she's saying, you're in the ring shout. You bring your own shout. You bring your own spirit to it, because it's a very spiritual thing.
How does it feel to be the matriarch of all this and to pass the torch and have her carry on the legacy? Fruit doesn't fall far from the tree.
Well, I feel like she's learned so much from me, and she's learned so much from her dad. I'm grateful that I'm still on the planet to be able to be at her side, to be able to help her, because it's a lot of work. She is very lucky because she has gotten out and made a name for herself. But in the International Association of Blacks in Dance, there are other leaders like herself who come from legacy dance companies, and they are legacy builders. They're still building their organizations on legacy. Philadelphia, Cleo Parker Robinson, her son is taking over a lot of the building up of the organization. The five of them serve as consultants to each other, which is a beautiful thing.
Such a beautiful mother-daughter story. It's also a really extraordinary husband-wife story.
Yes.
So many years together, building this together. Were you able to keep the romance alive through it all?
The romance is the dance. Let's say the dance. He loved dance more than he loved me. He knows as much about dance and movement and choreography as anyone.
He left his profession as a journalist, working for the LA Times, to back his wife at a time when that just wasn't happening.
He left it in a way that was phenomenal.
You guys have been a phenomenal team. The family has planted roots and seeds here that are now bearing fruit. What of your legacy are you most proud of?
Everything that I have accomplished to me is a legacy. My daughter putting her foot down, her roots here in this organization. My grandsons who have learned from us how to be artists in their own right. We've created a circle of dancers and choreographers in this city who have come through Lula Washington Dance Theatre. They've come through Lula Washington Dance Theatre. I'm very proud to say that, because I said, well, if Lula Washington Dance Theatre wasn't here, where would they have gone? Where would they be? So I'm always looking to provide opportunity. We will help you in whatever way we can. That's why I have on the wall outside, Dance Lives Here.
Yes.
On the wall, Dance Lives Here, yeah.
Yeah, well, you have forged a legacy of arts activism, social justice, and some of the most beautiful dances this city and nation has ever seen. We're so lucky to have you. Thank you so very much.
Thank you for having me.
And thank you for watching another edition of LA Stories. I'm Giselle Fernandez. We'll see you next time. Thank you for watching our YouTube channel. For more stories in your communities, click the subscribe button right here. You can also download our app or watch us on TV for the latest information, balanced coverage, weather updates every 10 minutes, and more. We'll see you then.